All right, we have a big, important discussion this morning talking about your kids and safety when it comes to car seats.
Yeah, some people might think they're pretty easy, but actually, according to one recent study, some 93% of car seats are actually installed incorrectly. That's a huge number, so we want to try to dispel some myths and get the right information out there. So joining us right now to help us is Jim Garnon from NARPro. Jim, thank you so much for being with us so early. You've actually set up a car here with a car seat, and you're going to go over some quick tips, but really, a lot of people think it's pretty straightforward. So where do people usually go wrong?
Well, one of the most common things is they don't tighten it all the way. Either the seat isn't tight or the child isn't tight in the seat.
Okay, so show us that one. It's pretty jiggly, isn't it?
Yeah, when you check a seat, you check along the belt line, and you want to have less than an inch of movement. You see this one moves quite a bit more. So it does need to be tighter. You get it tighter by pushing down and back, pulling the strap across the belt path,
okay,
and then feed up any slack that's left over. Once you've done that, you'll see that it doesn't hardly move.
Okay, yeah, that is a lot tighter.
And you were talking about also this child in front facing. How do you know what age can you switch the car seat around? What's the right appropriate age?
We'd like them to stay rear facing as long as possible. Okay. It's a lot safer because the crash force is displaced over the whole seat and the seat moves a little bit. So the force is displaced over time and distance. Whereas when you turn them around to forward facing, it's the child and the harness that have to hold them in place. So rear facing, excellent. We want them at least 2 years old, but I'd max out the seat. Whatever the seat's going to go, height and weight, but make sure to go as long as you can rear facing.
Okay.
And Katie, that's important for you to know. You have a niece and nephew in your family. Now, I want to ask this too. At what age can your child get out of the car seat or booster seat?
State law in Arizona is you have to be 8 years old or 4 foot 9 inches tall.
Okay.
And the reason why is what holds you in place is the lap belt. And the booster seat is actually an artificial hip plate. Since kids' bones bend, they flex, we want to be held in place, and that's their artificial hip plate. So really, you should be in it till 10 to 13, because that's when your bones fully harden up.
Wow, okay, definitely some news at home for parents.
Wow, yeah, and the other question too, car seat versus booster. We talked about when kids should, change rear facing, front facing, but what about when do you know your baby can go from here to an actual booster seat?
From this to a booster seat, all the seats are marked with the height and weight for the seat. So when they've maxed out this seat, it's time. But there's a transition period there when if you think the child's getting a little bit big, and the booster seat will cover a transitional period. There's about 4 levels to the child seats, and there's some applications where you can check with your child seat technician to help figure out what the best one for your child is.
Okay. And Jim, also too, we want to point out you guys are taking action for people all across the valley. There's going to be some locations where you're actually going to be checking some car seats, right?
Yeah, today from 8 to noon, we're doing 4 locations. We have north, south, east, and west.
Okay.
I believe you're going to post that on your website where the locations are. We also have a limited number of free seats for if they have expired car seats, we'll go ahead and trade them out. Or if they're just in need and didn't have one, we'll help hook them up.
Sure, and we will make sure that we get that information out. It's all right there on your screen, so everyone at home watching, write it down real quickly. Those are going to be the 4 locations that you can get your car seats checked. We will also post that on our website page too, so that people can access that. And thank you so much for taking action and helping people do this, because as we mentioned, 93%, that's such a high number out there, so the majority of people are doing this incorrectly and they need the help.
We're glad to help. They really care. There are minor things that they can tweak and make it better.
Sure, a little thing could make a big difference.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much. We really appreciate you waking up and being with us on ABC 15 Mornings.
Thank you. Jim, thank you. Appreciate it from NARPro. Okay, thanks.